In this video, I'm going to go over 12 micro habits that instantly make you a high value woman. Not to be perceived as a high value woman, because this is not about seeking external validation. This is about what is within yourself and how to level up so you actually do things that are in alignment with what a high value woman actually does. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Number one is to start your day in silence. When you wake up in the morning, start your day with at least 2 to 5 minutes of complete silence. Now, you can do this while you're laying in bed, sitting up, or going somewhere that is peaceful in your house. What I don't want you to do is do not reach for your phone as soon as you wake up. This is so detrimental for your mental health and your physical health, because the second you start scrolling through your phone, it activates your stress hormone, cortisol. Let yourself instead be present for at least a few minutes when you wake up. Allow yourself to have clarity and peace, because this is really going to set the tone for the rest of your day. And it will really allow you to control the day rather than having the day control you. Meditate if you want, do remembrance of God for a few minutes, do whatever it takes, whatever feels good and peaceful to you in your mind. Even 5 minutes of peace and quiet in the morning can signal calmness and peace and safety to your nervous system. Micro habit number 2, when somebody asks you to hang out, if they text you and they say, let's get together in an hour or tomorrow, allow yourself to text back, I will get back to you on that. Do not instantly reply back and say, yeah, I'm down. High value women protect their time and their energy. Now, this doesn't always have to be the case. I'm not trying to be extremely rigid on this, right? Because there are times and places, or maybe a friend reaches out to you because they need you, or maybe it's someone that you genuinely enjoy spending time with and you fill each other's cups and you keep each other in line, right? Those are your people. If you want to go hang out with them and you have the capacity to, go ahead. But I'm talking about if there's like a group text or something going on, or someone random reaches out to you, it's okay to say, let me get back to you on that. You don't have to instantly be obligated to say, yeah, of course. And don't feel guilty for it either. There's so much going on a daily basis that you only have a limited capacity, right? So you have to think about, is this hangout really worth it for me to go to? Is it going to make me feel better, or is it going to drain me? Is this going to put you in a better headspace getting out and hanging out with this group of friends? If the answer is no, then you're better off having a low-key day instead. If someone is too draining for you, it's okay to say no. Number 3 is to keep a clutter-free reset zone. Whether this is your nightstand, your kitchen counter, which I know is a little harder, or if this is your desk, your workspace area, make this space being clean a non-negotiable, even if it's the only place in your house that is clean. Because remember, visual clarity equals mental clarity. We cannot perform well and be our best selves if our mind is full of junk and clutter. Micro habit number 4 is to wear real clothes when you go out. I have definitely been guilty of slipping into this habit of dressing a little bit too casually when I go out, especially post-pandemic. I think overall that whole era just gave everyone permission to be super casual, especially for things like going out to run errands. But this is something that I'm especially working on lately, because this is not someone that I used to be ever. You couldn't catch me wearing sweatpants out running while running errands. It just, for me, it's always been a big no-no. And let me tell you why. There is a big difference between what you wear at home and how you present yourself in public. And I think that that boundary matters. And again, this isn't about external validation. It's not about how people see you or what they think of you, but it's more about respecting yourself. Why would you want to go out looking like a slob? Why would you want to go out wearing what you've been wearing on your couch all day, or what you wore to sleep that day? It's more about having some self-respect. And again, I do think that there should be some boundaries in place with what you wear at home versus what you wear out. And I'm not saying that you need to be fully dressed up and decked out every single time you go out, especially if you just want to go grab something from the grocery store, but aim to look clean, intentional, and slightly put together, and not like you just rolled out of bed. Again, it's about respecting yourself and the space that you're stepping into. There's a certain etiquette to being out in public than there is to being in the comfort of your home on your couch. And honestly, just putting in a little bit of effort into what you wear can completely change how you feel. It really can up your confidence and just put you in a much better mood. Micro habit number 5 is to take a pause before reacting, especially if someone said or did something that is so triggering to you. And I more than anyone know that it is so hard to keep your mouth shut in these instances, because you just want to get in there, right? You just want to say what you have to say. But that breath between trigger and response is pure power. And then when you are pausing, you will often catch yourself thinking, that it's not even worth it. Remember, high value women do not waste their time and energy on people and conversations that are not worth their time and energy. The best thing that you can do in these situations is just stay silent and move on. This is not about them. This is about protecting you and your inner peace and not expending your energy on worthless things. Micro habit number 6 is to stop over explaining. We are all so guilty of this, including myself. One of the most underrated high value habits is to say less, especially when it comes to defending your decisions, your boundaries, or your preferences. You decide how you want to live your life, and you don't really owe anybody an explanation unless you want to. If you don't want to go somewhere, or if you've rejected an invitation, you do not need to write out an entire paragraph on why you cannot make it. If something doesn't work for you, you don't have to justify it with 10 different reasons. Respect yourself, respect your time. A simple "that doesn't work for me" is enough. And let me tell you, over explaining is usually a nervous system response. We have been trained to avoid conflict and people please, or make sure that nobody misunderstands us. This is a trauma response. But the truth is, you do not owe anyone access to your inner dialogue. High value women know that their no can be gentle yet firm without being followed by guilt or a performance. You don't have to explain your standards, you just have to honor them. So let's go ahead and break that generational trauma now. Micro habit number 7 is to regularly check in with yourself. Now, this is a ritual that you can do daily for a few seconds or a few minutes, or you can do once every few days or once a week, whatever feels good to you. But one thing you will notice about high value women is that they are always very self-aware. They're aware of how they're feeling. They're aware of what's going on within themselves. They are aware when something feels off to them. Maybe you are feeling a little bit off lately. Take a pause and ask yourself, what has been going on lately? What changed? Did I start eating something different? Did I start a new exercise routine? Am I spending more time around someone new lately? What changed? Name the emotion. You don't have to do anything about it if you don't want to, but at least now you have identified what is going on with you and what has caused it and why you've been feeling the way that you've been feeling. This will also help you identify patterns in your behavior. Number 8, be fully present when you are with people. High value women understand that presence is a form of respect. There is nothing more disheartening and nothing more rude. This is especially, I'm going to talk about this because this is like very triggering and upsetting for me, but there is nothing that upsets me more than me taking out the time to schedule a coffee, lunch, or dinner, or whatever it is with a friend. And, it took a while to get to this point because everyone's so busy, but you finally agreed on a date and a time to hang out. And then majority of the time that you're hanging out with this friend, they're just on their phone. They're texting, they're getting calls, and they're like, "Oh, excuse me, let me take this," every few minutes. It's kind of just like, why did we even bother? Why did you waste both of our times? Because clearly you don't want to be here spending time, and now I don't want to be here spending time with you either. It is just so rude and so dismissive. We live in a world where our attention is constantly being pulled in 100 different directions. So when someone chooses to spend their time with you, that deserves your full presence, not half listening while you're scrolling. Don't be that person who checks out mid-conversation or keeps picking up their phone out of habit. We need to get rid of this habit, okay? It's toxic. There's more to life than our phones. And I can do a whole nother video on this if you want. A high value woman makes people in front of her that she's spending time with feel seen and feel heard and feel valuable. And if you're the one that's constantly checking your phone, ask yourself, what am I escaping from? The real flex is being so grounded that you can sit, connect, and fully be present wherever you are. Micro habit number 9 is to let yourself rest without earning it and without feeling guilty. A high value woman does not see rest as being lazy. She sees it as essential. She honors her body's signals, and she understands that nervous system regulation, clarity, and creativity do not come from constantly being bogged down and constantly being in motion. They come from being well rested and well resourced. You rest without guilt, without justification, without feeling like you've earned it. You are subconsciously telling yourself and your nervous system and your subconscious that I am enough even when I'm doing nothing. I am enough. Your worth is not tied to your productivity. And being a millennial, I know that this is something that we struggle with so much because this is just how we were raised. This is how we were brought up. We were raised to hustle. We were raised to people please. We were raised to tie our self-worth to productivity and by how much you've accomplished and how much you've done. So it's a very difficult cycle to break, but it's something that's so crucial and it needs to be done because we are seeing the repercussions of it now by all of us being so burnt out, so dysregulated. You are worth it no matter what, and you being in this world and just existing is enough. Allow yourself to rest and to rest in peace and without guilt. Microhabit number 10 is to speak kindly to yourself out loud. And it might sound silly at first, but I promise you this actually works. And it might feel silly at first, but your body is actually listening to what you're saying. The words that you speak, especially about yourself, carry energy. There is a reason why daily affirmations are so powerful and why they are so pushed and taught to rewire your subconscious mind. Your brain actually doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. So if you sit there envisioning your life as a millionaire and being rich and traveling and doing all this good stuff that makes you happy, your brain actually can't tell that that's not real. When you feel that dopamine hit, when you feel that excitement and happiness because of whatever you're imagining, your brain thinks it's real. Those feelings are real. So when you repeatedly say things like, I'm so broke, I can't afford anything, I'm so unfit, I can't manage my time, I suck at life. When you are constantly saying these things, and I know you are because nobody is your worst critic than yourself. And again, goes back to that whole being a millennial thing. We put so much unnecessary pressure on ourselves. But when you say stuff like that to yourself, your brain subconsciously starts to internalize that and it starts to believe that it's true. So therefore, subconsciously, your actions are going to reflect what your mind thinks about you, even if it's not your full reality. Isn't that wild? Just think about that for a second. That's why they say when you are starting a business or when you're doing something new or, you want to go on this new journey, your mindset is the first thing that needs to change and be clear and be positive. Because once you're in that clear, positive mindset and you're affirming like, I am successful, I can do this, I can do hard things, I can overcome challenges, I can be successful, your mind again will believe that that's true, even though it may not be a reality yet. But your mind will then subconsciously allow you to perform tasks that align with what your brain thinks. It's actually fascinating. Once your brain accepts something as being true, it begins to subtly direct your decisions and your behavior and even opportunities to match that belief. So when you start talking to yourself about abundance and clarity and peace and confidence, your nervous system starts to regulate. Your nervous system begins to regulate around that truth and around that calm. Microhabit number 11 is to eat something before you drink coffee in the morning. Drinking coffee or matcha or anything that has caffeine on an empty stomach in the morning does nothing but spike your cortisol or your stress hormone. So even before you started your day, if you started it with a caffeinated drink, you are stressed out. This is also going to lead to an epic crash sooner rather than later. Make sure you have some food in your stomach. Just have something before you have your caffeine. And you'll notice this is also going to help reduce anxiety. Being high value is not mostly about how you look. It's about how you feel inside. And honoring your body is a part of that. Micro habit number 12 is to look at your bank account weekly without shame. I know this one can be so scary, but it's so necessary. Do not avoid it. There is nothing more high value than a woman who knows what's going on with her money and knows how to manage it properly. And a woman who knows how to make her money work for her by doing things like having financial goals and investing. Now, if you feel extremely intimidated by investing or it's something you heard about, but you're not quite sure even where to start, then don't even worry. I have you covered. That's actually exactly what I go over in this video right here, where I go over how to get started in investing. Even if you are a complete beginner, even if you know nothing about the stock market or stocks. So I highly suggest you check that video out next, and I will catch you in the next video.